Everyone. Welcome to our September episode of Happiness Deployed. I'm Natalie Gross, and I'm here with my co-founder, Andrea Scott.
Great to see you guys.
Yeah, well, we are going to do something a little bit different. We're going to shake things up this episode and kick it off with an interview with Lizanne Lightfoot, who you might recognize by her nickname, The Seasoned Spouse. She's a prolific writer for military magazines and websites. She's also the content editor for PCS Grades and an author of 3 books as of this month. She has some encouragement to share with you, and then we'll get right into our good news headlines for the month. Lizanne, thank you so much for coming on Happiness Deployed. It's so great to have you. And you have just released your book. It's called Open When: Letters of Encouragement for Military Spouses. There it is right there. And I believe I just saw on Instagram that it has already sold out on Amazon. So congratulations.
Thank you. It's so exciting. It just released on Tuesday. So it's brand new and it's been thrilling.
That's amazing. Well, tell us a little bit about you, first of all. You know, you go by The Seasoned Spouse is kind of your nickname. So how did you get there? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, I started the Seasoned Spouse blog about 5 years ago. And at that point, I had been married to my husband, who's a Marine, a little over a decade, but I wasn't quite fully seasoned. I figured I could grow into the title. And now, after several years of working on the blog and writing for hundreds of articles for military websites and magazines, doing years of freelance. Now I feel like I can embrace it a little bit more. He's done 20 years of service now. We're close to retirement. And I just wanted to take the opportunity to share some of those experiences and some of the resiliency that we've learned with other spouses.
That's amazing. So tell us about the book. What can people expect?
It is a collection of encouraging messages to read at very specific moments of military life. So each letter is only a few pages long, which is great because if you just have a couple minutes to read, it gives you that just motivation and inspiration and courage to face whether it's a very small challenge. There's things like open when you've missed a phone call during deployment, or open when the kids are acting out. You know, these aren't life-shattering situations, but sometimes we all just need a little supportive voice and someone who will recognize, hey, that's a tough situation. I've been there before. I know you're going to figure this out. So here's some things that you can do to move forward. And then it also addresses some of the very large challenges of military life. I wanted to cover the whole military journey from basic training all the way to retirement. So there's a little something for everyone. The whole first section is for brand new spouses and the final section is for seasoned spouses. So hopefully you can find yourself somewhere in between, but it covers PCS moves, it covers going overseas, covers deployments, and just kind of all the ups and downs of military life.
Yeah. As you're talking, I'm curious, was there a time in your military spouse journey where you could have really used encouragement like this? Is that kind of what inspired it?
Absolutely. I think a lot of my passion comes from the 7 years that I dated my husband before we married. And all of that was long distance. He did 3 combat tours during that time. So it was a time of extreme stress. And because I was a girlfriend, not a spouse, I didn't quite feel connected to the military community. This was kind of in the days before social media, so it was a little bit harder to feel connected. And there was a lot of fumbling and figuring things out on my own. So I have definitely wanted to thank all the people that did help me and support me during that time and during my early spouse years, and kind of pay it forward to the next generation that no matter how connected you are in social media now, we all need a real friend, someone that you can just kind of talk to, have coffee with, and get a hug from now and then. And that's what people have described these letters as.
Do you have a favorite letter?
I can tell you my editor's favorite letter. She loved the one that was open when you say goodbye to a home you love. And because of the emotion and just the sincerity of that letter, that's one that we've chosen to release in full. So I think coming up soon, the publisher will have a full text of it, and there's a video of me reading it. But for me personally, the deployment section was the easiest to write. We've been through 7 deployments. I have had kids during a lot of them, and just kind of all the challenges that come with deployment. And I've been working to support spouses through deployment for the past few years now. So that was where I had the most contact with spouses that are currently going through it, sharing all of the emotions, all of the challenges. And I just wanted to give all of them such a huge hug and a lot of strength and a boost to get through their day.
Well, Lizanne, this sounds like an amazing book. I want to get my hands on it for sure. Is there anything else that you want to tell military spouses about why they should buy it, why they need this in their life? It sounds like maybe it's a good gift for a military spouse friend too.
Absolutely. I hope it would be a great gift for anyone. Like I said, even if you're near the end of your military journey and you feel like you don't need another book to tell you how to do military life, that's not what this is. This is the encouragement that everyone needs at every stage. And so I hope it would be a great gift for someone who's brand new or someone that's approaching retirement. A wonderful gift to give to brand new girlfriends and boyfriends and new members of the family, things like that. And even though it is temporarily sold out on Amazon, you can always order through my publisher. They have them in stock and ready to go. And that's through militaryfamilybooks.com.
How do you know, when do you hit the point that you are a seasoned spouse?
I don't think it happens at an exact moment because I don't think it's tied to a number of, oh, once you reach 10 years or once you've done 3 deployments. It's just anyone who has been through difficult situations. So whether that's 1 PCS move or 5, whether that's 1 deployment or 3 deployments, it's something that you've gone through that you can share with others. And so my blog has always been about encouraging people, finding those resources, finding those shared experiences and helping each other through it.
Was your
Amazing.
husband surprised by anything in the book, or did he know that you were going through all this at the time?
He knew about it, and I would say I do have personal stories. There's 1 in each section of the book, so there's 5 personal stories, and he obviously knew about those because they were very life-changing events. But some of the smaller letters, they're all written directly to the reader. And so it'll say things like, you may be experiencing this, or you might feel like this right now, but here's how you might want to get through it. And we did decide to take that tone to remove the I and to remove my personal experiences so that it would really relate much more to the reader and they would connect to it. The letters aren't a one size fits all kind of experience of military life, but each one tries to meet you right where you are and provide multiple options for moving forward.
Andrea, you're an Army girlfriend. Maybe
Yeah.
this would be a good book for you.
Absolutely. I hope it will definitely be motivating and eye-opening and sort of let you know that no matter what is lying ahead, that you're going to get through it and it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Well, Lizanne, you mentioned that we would be able to do a giveaway for our listeners. So can you tell us what's in store for that?
Absolutely. We are super excited to share an ebook version. So that one you can do as an instant download once you've chosen your winner and awarded them. So I'll leave that part up to you, but we are going to send you the electronic version of the book, and that way you have it with you on whatever device is portable and ready to go with you wherever you'd like. And that way I hope you have those messages of encouragement whenever you need them.
Awesome. Well, anyone watching or listening to this interview right now, just stay tuned to our social media pages. We'll definitely post more info about that giveaway for you in the next couple of days. And so we're at Spouse Angle Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. Lizanne, how can people find you?
My blog is seasonspouse.com and my social media handles are either seasoned spouse or the seasoned spouse.
Okay. Us too. That's pretty much how it goes. Well, Lizanne, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was so great meeting you. I know, like you said, we've written for a lot of the same publications over the years. So it was great, actually seeing your face, putting a face to the name and all of that. So
Absolutely.
thank you.
Definitely a pleasure.
Well, this must be a good month for releasing books because we had someone else reach out with the good news that they have published their book as well. And of course, Andrea and I always love when people share their good news with us. That makes our jobs easy and we want to share it with everyone else. So keep sending in that good news and your stories to podcast@thespouseangle.com or reach out to us on social media. Well, this message was from Scott DeLuzio. He just released his book called Surviving Son. He hosts the Drive On podcast, which I believe, Andrea, was that the first podcast we were on together to talk about the spouse angle?
It was either the first or the second. It might have been the first. You're right.
Yeah, one of our supporters early on. So, Scott, we definitely appreciate that. And he is a Gold Star brother. And in this book, he shares the story of how he was in combat fighting in Afghanistan at the same time that his younger brother, Stephen, was killed in action just miles away. And the book tells the story of their childhood, their call to service after 9/11, and what it was like to fight in a war. And of course, while the story of his brother's death is certainly sad, Scott wants his readers to laugh as well as cry, and he hopes that ultimately his message is one of hope, because he believes that by telling his story, it might give hope to others and reverse the stigma that often accompanies those who seek mental health treatment, which is what he's been doing. He's been dealing with PTSD and other things since he got back. So, Scott, congratulations on the release of your book.
And in other good news, we know that military families can sometimes have a hard time integrating, especially when they switch communities and they're in a brand new place. A 2019 Blue Star Family survey found that 40% of military family members did not feel a sense of belonging to their local civilian community, which is a pretty high number. So Blue Star Families is trying to do something about that. They're starting off a new program just this end of September called Welcome Week. And the point is to help families adapt to new duty stations, schools, communities, and the like. And there'll be events throughout the week like giveaways, welcome letters, and information on their new local communities. We want families who serve our country to know that they have the support from their communities during this historically difficult year. That's the CEO of Blue Star Families. So you can head to their website to check out what's going on this week.
That sounds like a really great event. Well, the Space Force has unveiled its new dress and workout uniforms for Guardians. And as an Air Force Times article points out, because this is the first military service since women were able to hold the same roles as men, this is the first set of uniforms we're seeing that were designed with women in mind from the start. They actually designed the female uniform first, if you can believe that. And it is, quote, distinctive, modern, professional, and comfortable to wear, according to a Space Force spokesperson.
And we've seen those side by side comparing their new uniform to Star Trek. And we'll have to say which one worked better. And in some final good news for this month, well, we'll start with the bad news. We know that housing prices are crazy, but there might be some relief for that. That's the good news for military families in 56 areas around the country, that they might soon get relief with a basic allowance for housing hike. The move had been approved by Pentagon officials, Military Times reported in mid-September, and is scheduled to take effect October 1st. And an action memo circulating online shows requests between 10 to 20% hike in BAH in 56 hotspot areas around the country. So if you're having a hard time with that, don't lose hope. That should be coming just next month.
That sounds like a podcast episode in the making. So
it does.
Yeah. Stay tuned for that, for more on that, I guess. And thank you everyone for watching, for joining us this month for our September issue of Happiness Deployed. We hope to see you back next month.
Like always, send us your good news and, tag us on Instagram and Facebook, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.